Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from whenever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, CS John MBADI officially took over the office, and there is a warning he's putting out. This warning goes to those who are working in the government. First of all, he has talked about the issue of payroll overhaul. There has been so many questions about the civil servants in this country, whereby you find some ghost workers who get salary. In some instances, you find one person getting 2 or 3 salaries. But don't blame the person. The salary remains one. These 2 goes elsewhere. For example, Nyakango, said something during a public participation that she found out that her salary is 2 times, and she questioned about it. Though she received 1 salary, there's a problem with the issue of ghost workers. So John MBADI is giving a warning to those who have been benefiting from that enough is enough. You have benefited a lot. It is time now to give way. I don't know how he will make this to come true. Simply because there is no way we can have such powerful individuals who get these salaries if they are not really very well connected in the system, and that means aligned to William Ruto. Kwa Uhuru, wale walikuwa aligned na Uhuru. Saizi ni wale wako aligned with William Ruto. How will he manage this if the beneficiaries are close allies of William Ruto? Not unless the president is also willing that the river to take its course. Mambo ya ukora, ghost workers, double salary must end. Hiyo tutangoja tuone kama inafanyika. Secondly, MBADI has talked about the issue of procurement. Of course, that's where we lose our money also. From county level to national level. But John MBADI hayuko kwa county, hayuko kwa national level. We've had the issue of procuring a pen, each piece going for 1,000 Kenyan shillings. Kalamu tu yenye ya shilingi 100 wanasema milioni 1,000. Ukikuja kwa counties unasikia wheelbarrow, a wheelbarrow, common wheelbarrow yenye nauza 3,000 wananunua 1,100 one piece. So MBADI is warning those who have benefited from this procurement process, enough is enough. They have to give away. Because that's where we lose money. We're talking about collecting money and not, seeing tangible projects or development or progress with our taxes. It is simply because a lot of leakages have been opened. Therefore, that's where our money is taken to. The issue of funding, for example, school, the model of funding our schools. We learned that we have ghost schools that have bank accounts, that they receive capitation, both primary and high school, and most of them are high school. In high school, a lot of money goes there. Capitation ya kila mwanafunzi ni 1,000 ngapi? 18 ama 20 na kitu pale. This money goes into a pipe, even. We lose money through this kind of model of funding. But it's promised to go and look deeper into that, so that we will fund genuine schools, not even private schools for private individuals, not ghost schools, not double funding of schools. Tuliona kule Rift Valley kuna shule ambazo ni ghost, hata ukifuatilia unapata ya kwamba zilikuwa polling station. Watu wakapiga kura kule. Lakini ukiangalia watu walipiga kura kule unapata hakuna. So the issue of funding ghost schools, ghost projects, it must end. Tukirudi kwa mambo ya civil servants, are you aware that there has been an allegation that when Ruto appointed 54 chief administrative secretaries, they had a salary, they had offices, but they were warned, keep silent about this. This is allegations. What if this allegation is true? How will John Mbadi manage this if the president himself has been involved in all this to make sure that his friends who did not win elections are getting political rewards? Maybe if Ruto is willing, but if not, to achieve all that he's talking about, it will be just a dream. So Mbadi have, a big plan, but the issue is all about willing. These people allow him to execute the plan to serve the interest of the people. So many things. The issue of reintroducing the finance bill, say they will not reintroduce, though some issues in the finance bill which were good, they might be reconsidered. So that is John Mbadi for you. Without wasting time, I want you to listen to John Mbadi and drop your comment on the same.
There are a few things that I would want to mention, Professor, based on what you have said. I think on payroll, starting with payroll, and that takes me to cost-cutting measures. Clearly, if we cannot integrate our payroll system from the state departments to IFMIS, which is our parent accounting system, and all the way to KRA, then we don't know what we are doing. So anyone who is standing on the way of that reform, please give way. I just want to put it that way, that person must give way. Please allow Kenya to move forward. Don't be an obstacle. That is not why you are put in that office, to be an obstacle for good things. So payroll reforms must be done. And Prof, I want to give my commitment that we are going to work hard that is done. Something else to talk about is the issue of procurement and supply chain management. This is an area that we don't have option. We don't have an option now that resources have become scarce. We must prudently and efficiently use public resources by making procurement system efficient and not open or prone to abuse. So this thing we have talked about of end-to-end procurement, please, as a national treasury, we must make sure it works, it succeeds. If there are people who have been benefiting from the chaotic system, you have benefited enough. Now allow Kenyans to get value for money. That's what I would say. Now let Kenyans get value for money. Second last maybe comment I would want to talk about is, and Professor, I recognize that already reforms have started at the Kenya Revenue Authority. Those reforms must continue, because really if we were collecting 22% at one point, and for a long time 18% of our GDP, and now we have gone down to below 15%. If we could increase our revenue collection to GDP by just even about 3%, I am sure that would give us almost 400 billion shillings additional. And so that would sort out a lot of our problems, bridge the budget deficit, and then we get the country moving forward. On issues, technical, last one I would say is that, yes, we have lost the finance bill of 2024. It would be wrong and an abuse and insult to the people of Kenya if you tell them you're reintroducing that finance bill. Then you would not be listening to Kenyans. So we cannot reintroduce the finance bill 2024, despite the progressive provisions in it. But the country must grow. There are provisions in that bill which would have helped the country to grow. One area and you have mentioned it, Professor, is the issue of tax expenditure, which is leading to tax leakage within it. A lot of tax expenditure claims, I mean the tax refund claims are fictitious, and we know it. We have been around for a while. So now we must look for ways of reducing the tax expenditure. That we can only do by, there are commodities, there are items you may not stop subsidizing, so to speak, because they're basic. They impact directly on cost of living, but you can move them to exemptions so that we do away with this zero rating of commodities, which end up clogging our system. And by the way, VAT refunds, you know better than me, could be contributing about 60% of the 65%. So if it is 60,
about 2.94%.
yes,
Now it is 5.5 billion.
which is now the total, to put it in perspective, the total tax refunds, the total tax expenditure is 525 billion. 65% of that, meaning over 300 billion, say 350, is on VAT tax refunds. If we manage that, even if we just manage 250 to 300 billion we take off, that is money you are giving back to the exchequer to be used for development of this country. So Kenyans must accept, we must discuss and agree that yes, we will give some relief on some critical and important items, but let us do tax exemption instead of zero rating, which end up, by the way, benefiting business people and not the consumers, because the benefits are rarely passed to the consumers. I hope we all understand. Maybe we are speaking to Kenyans out there who may not really understand the details of what we are saying. So I am so particular and maybe getting emotional about the tax exemptions. And on that, and the last one is on, you had a very good program of tax amnesty, which has netted additional revenue. I looked at the figures. Is it 43 billion?